You're listening to WXOJ-LP 103.3 FM Northampton. This is Screaming for Change.
Look how the ruts cling to my footsteps, the fatal invisible tool by which we fight for our approval and fear our removal from the safety of fool, from the tidal forces of our positions. Not one to take for granted are our rebel hymns incanted, singing the minds of the fortunate sons, brothers in spirit, sisters in rage. Will we live out our lives in this concrete cage? Another heartbeat lost, another police murder, buried in the public eyes on the back page. Heartbeat lost in a new world order, hobbled and bound but still walking away. I pledge allegiance to the world, nothing more, nothing less than my humanity. I pledge allegiance to the world, searching for vision, not invisibility. I pledge allegiance to the world, searching for vision, not invisibility. I pledge allegiance to the world until the last lock breaks, none of us are free. None of us are free. We fight to balance our minds, many power pushing profits over online times. World leaders mortgaging our lives with words. I don't need to be reminded of who you really serve. Brothers in spirit, sisters in rage. Will we live out our lives in this concrete cage? Another heartbeat lost, another police murder, buried in the public eyes on the back page. Heartbeats lost in a new world order, standing alone with our backs to the maze. I pledge allegiance to the world, nothing more, nothing less than my humanity. I pledge allegiance to the world until the last lock breaks, none of us are free. I pledge allegiance to the world until the last lock breaks, none of us are free. I pledge allegiance to the world for nothing more, nothing less. Injustice and hunger united, searching for vision united. Injustice and hunger united, law and order, for whose orders? I pledge allegiance to the world, nothing more, nothing less than my humanity. I pledge allegiance to the world until the last lock breaks, none of us are free. I pledge allegiance to the world, under no nation will we ever be. I pledge allegiance to the world for nothing more, nothing less than my humanity, than my humanity, than my humanity. Pledge allegiance to our humanity, to our humanity, to our humanity, to the world.
What's up, Western Massachusetts? You have reached Screaming for Change Radio based out of Florence, Massachusetts. Once again, we're going to be playing 1 hour of hardcore music. And like the last few episodes, we have the common theme that we're going with, which is bands that maybe might get somebody into hardcore, starter pack hardcore. But I'm not by myself today. I have my friend, Mike Poulin. What's up, Mike?
Hey, not much. Happy to be here.
A return guest.
Yes.
Jake and Mike were on talking about the Comeback Kid tour.
I think that was in February, last time we were here.
And you just went to Europe, which is cool, and you're about to go back to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff going on in Defeater World. But I gave Mike the prompt, the idea, and everybody's kind of had a different take on this. So what were you thinking when you put together the songs for today?
Well, I think I texted you about it, because I kind of interpreted the assignment a few different ways, and that didn't, we never really cleared that up in our texting. So I kind of took this assignment and added, one day I'd be like, oh, this would be a good song, and I'd add that, and then the next day I'd look at this assignment a little differently and add another song that maybe didn't make sense for the day before. So we've kind of got this like random list of bands, but I think there's bands here that, like, if you're not a fan of hardcore, like, these are hardcore songs that you might find yourself enjoying. If you have heard Knocked Loose once and want to dig deeper or something, like, I think these are kind of bands that might help you do that. And then some of them are just songs that I think are just awesome hardcore songs and kind of helped get me into this world of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at the list, you touched on a lot of cool stuff. There's a couple things on here that I've never heard before. There's a few things on here that I've played on the show a bunch of times.
Like last week.
Maybe last week. We have a topical recent loss.
It's true.
Yeah, so we've got a lot going on here. But you started off with Strike Anywhere. I think that's the first time that Strike Anywhere has been played on Screaming for Change.
Nice.
And I think it was a cool place to start. I always, in my mind, connect this band with No Trigger because people would always say that, like, Tom sounded like this guy when they first started out. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but this band is fun. I don't know. What was your thinking on this one?
So someone suggested this band to me. I have a 10-year-old in the house who is, it's not always the easiest thing to find appropriate hardcore and punk to like help a 10-year-old get into this stuff. So somebody suggested Strike Anywhere and said that for their son, that was kind of like one of the pivotal bands that brought them from liking Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack to liking hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were kind of like, it's melodic skate punk type stuff, but there's screaming as well. So there's enough screaming in there to sort of be like, is this a hardcore band or is this like political skate punk band? And they're both. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what's unique about them.
I also think with Strike Anywhere, if you're talking about like what is it that draws people to this general type of music, some of it is the like sort of protest, like political side of things. Yeah. And like the imagery of this record, and kind of all their records, like that's, they're in there. Their politics is on their sleeve.
They live it, man.
Yeah.
They live it. And like, yeah, it's kind of like you could argue, okay, it's a little mall punk, like political punk, but those, like, Thomas lives in a commune where like they're protesting and like growing their own vegetables and organizing like crazy protests and stuff. Like, I think his partner is a lawyer who like does all pro bono, like environmental work. Like, they're very... Are
they from down south? Are they from Pacific Northwest?
They're from Richmond, but Thomas and his partner live in California now. And where they live, I know nothing about this, so this is cool. Where they live is like some commune that was started like decades ago, where like it's in, I don't know, the Hollywood Hills somewhere, like, and it's like very sought after. A lot of people want to live there. You have to be invited to live there and vetted, and the way you get to live there,
you stage dive at a Strike Anywhere show.
Yeah, they've got so many like catchy anthemic kind of like stage divey finger pointy parts that there'd be a lot of people in that commune. But the way you get to live there is like by kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but kind of like by example. They kind of like vet you, like, well, what have you done for environmental change or animal liberation or human rights, whatever, like. And Thomas and his partner have been living there for a long time. So
that's super cool. I didn't know any of that. But I do like the idea of starting in kind of a political lane here. Is this where we're going next? Is this our next little stretch?
Yeah.
All right, sick. So I'm just going to intro this one. We're going to listen to a few songs. This is a band that gets played all the time, and they should. It's fine. I think, honestly, that's one of the things with these episodes that I'm like, if somebody was really getting into hardcore and I asked like 5 or 6 people to put together a list and everybody put the Gorilla Biscuits on their list, guess what? That's for a reason. This is Hold Your Ground.
I don't think it was a fears, but I don't give a shit. Left in the streets of my town, you'll never hurt. I'm on my fucking ground. Hold on. Ground. Hold on. Hold your ground. It's time to stand up for what you believe. At the fear of your critics, be better like you think. You may be distant from your faith, but yet don't you never understand. Be yourself and be the best you can. Step out. Conformity, the easy way to be accepted. Nothing else is anything. It's hard to be yourself with all this pressure coming down. Strong fucking person, hold your ground. Hold on. Ground. Hold on. Hold your ground. it's a promise.
Minor Threat by Minor Threat. Before that, you had We Gotta Know by the Cro-Mags, and we started off that block with the Gorilla Biscuits with the song Hold Your Ground. I remembered something while we were listening to those songs. This is the final episode of year 1 of Screaming for Change. So this is episode number 52, 52 weeks. That means the people, whoever the people are, can listen to 52 hours of hardcore. Hardcore curated by me, and available for the masses forever. And Mike, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here for
I'm happy to be here.
The final one. So these are all your picks. Gorilla Biscuits, into the Cro-Mags, into Minor Threat. This makes perfect sense to me. Why does it make sense to you?
I mean, all classic bands that you need to hear if you are going down this path. This Hold Your Ground by Gorilla Biscuits in particular, that song in particular I picked because like there's any number of Gorilla Biscuits songs or any number of bands that could kind of fit in that slot to introduce you to like that 88 like Youth Crew sound. But I love that one because his voice cracks. It's not like this perfect record, it's executed really well and played really well.
If you don't like that type of music, it's like you don't hear somebody's voice cracking on a recording like that if you're just into pop music.
99.9% of bands would be like, oh, we got to do it again. They're just like, no, it's perfect. And I just love that recording. That was one of the first hardcore records I ever had, was that before New Direction.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved it, and I just think it's kind of the perfect song. The recording is a great example of hardcore capturing a feeling without being like a perfect product.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And the lyrics are just kind of like, hey, I don't really fit in, but I don't care because I'm on my own kind of path, which is like, what's more like Youth Crew than that, you know what I mean?
That's such a good point. Like the things about hardcore that make you sort of think to yourself like that, like they change what it means to be like good, you know. Like in most normal instances, if you were singing a song and your voice cracks, you'd be like, that's bad, you know. So it definitely, it's a head turner if you don't have the context for it. That's dope. And then you had Cro-Mags. Yeah,
I mean, first song off of like an Essential album that to me kind of merged like the New York, like kind of like crusty street punk and hardcore and thrash like in one thing.
Oh yeah, because there's some really fast parts in that song too.
Yeah, but like they were like a dangerous band too. Like you
might get stabbed. That's what they say.
Like street people playing like influenced by like Bad Brains and like some Krishna stuff, but like the music was still like mean, very mean. And and it's just a classic. If you're trying to show someone hardcore, it's sort of like, well, here's a great example. For sure. And so that one was easy.
Yeah, that was a great pick. And I was talking off air about how my pop punk band covered the intro to that song and how it was hilarious. And then Minor Threat, the very first, when I started this radio show, and I said, what do I need to play on my first episode? What needs to be the first song on my first episode? I played a Minor Threat song. So you picked one too. What do we got here with the title track band name pick?
Well, I think that song, in particular, it's a classic song, 1981, and I feel like bands are still trying to capture that. They definitely were trying to capture that, like, youthfulness for decades to come. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're more concerned with like 808 bass drops now or something. But like for decades, like this was the like benchmark, you know, where it was kind of like it demonstrated like a youthfulness of hardcore and a view of the world that like young people have. Yeah, and it was played by young people and like
super angry.
Yeah.
And so, I always say about Minor Threat, nobody sounds like Minor Threat, I feel like. Yeah. It's like they were trying to sound like the Bad Brains, and they created a sound that just nobody has been able to... Like that, I played Verbal Assault a couple weeks ago. That's like one band that I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like Minor Threat a little bit. Like certain aspects of it, but like, I don't know. If a kid if a kid in 2025 who's like a Knocked Loose kid or a Turnstile kid, and they like, is this hardcore to like a modern ear of somebody just getting into it? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's definitionally hardcore to me.
Yeah, 100%. Like, dude, I have friends that went to like different high schools, and they would be like, yeah, well, like the punk kids in my school tell me Black Flag's a punk band, but I think they're a hardcore band. And it was like this debate.
Everybody's right.
You know, everybody's right. But Minor Threat kind of falls into that category as well. And, you know, so it's easy. I could see like a younger person like getting into hardcore now, seeing like Ian and Henry in like a million interviews, and maybe getting a little ick feeling, or it's kind of like it's just a weird vibe. Maybe
they're a little cringe,
a little bit, but like the
unk status.
Yeah, but their influence on you know the genre is like undeniable. And yeah, I still think there's certain aspects of Minor Threat that every band, regardless of genre, should strive for. Just like ownership of like, and like not caring about like, you know, what other people are going to think of this. You just put out what it's a testament of like releasing something that you are proud of, and or like that you think is cool, and you know the people will follow that or be more into that than catering to an audience that you're hoping to get at some point. I don't know.
No, I agree. And I think just like the honesty and like the raw anger of it really, you know, carry through the whatever 4 decades since this song came out.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so we just went to see Bad Religion last weekend.
Yeah.
And Brian Baker from Minor Threat is in Bad Religion, has been for, I don't know, like years, like since Minor Threat finished, I think.
Yeah.
And like I was just watching him play guitar and doing the math, and I'm like, okay, this Bad Religion song is 43 years old. Like Brian Baker has been writing. Like, Bad Religion still has millions of monthly listeners on Spotify, and it had 10,000 people there to see them play, you know, like, and they're in their 60s. Like, this guy has been writing hardcore and punk songs that people really give a crap about for what, 40, 50 years?
It's wild. For longer than we've been alive. 1.3 million monthly listens.
Like, that's insane to me. I don't know where all those people are all the time, like, throughout that's enough people to me that it seems like I should bump into someone at the gas station, like, who is wearing a Bad Religion shirt or something.
Yeah, at least once a week.
Yeah, and it never really happened, so I don't know where all those people are. But, I mean, when I saw them last weekend, an entire parking lot of people knew the words to the entire set. And it was really cool to see Brian Baker up there, like, still doing it, having fun too. He didn't seem like he was like phoning it in or anything. He was shredding.
That's so sick. We're gonna stay Discord here. We're gonna jump into some more tracks. This is gonna be the song For Want Of from Rites of Spring.
I believe. Let me read my mirror, no reflections on me. I believed that if you did it, I might set myself free. But I woke up this morning with a piece of glass caught in my throat, and then I just so hard. I thought life should be a chance to defeat statistics. I thought life should be a chance, and sometimes I don't pursue it. The sea speaks my better half.
Thanks for listening to Screaming for Change, screamingforchangeradio.com. That was the band One Last Wish with the song My Better Half, and before that you heard For Want Of by Rites of Spring. I was saying to Mike while we were listening, one, Rites of Spring are awesome and I never listened to them and I should listen to them more. Two, One Last Wish I know nothing about, and that was the first time that I had heard it, and I really liked it. So thanks for bringing that to me, Mike.
Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, those are like, I mean, it's kind of the same band. One Last Wish is kind of like a reformed version of Rites of Spring, but that's why playing them back to back was kind of made sense. But yeah, it was, I don't know, I wasn't there, right? Like
Sure.
when all this stuff was like happening, and
We
like,
were in diapers still.
yeah, and I feel like One Last Wish definitely, but like even Rites of Spring, like they're kind of like elusive. You're not like, there's stuff out there you can Google about them and everything, and like they've got wiki pages and whatnot.
Sure.
But like, there's just something a little like mysterious about them, I feel like, and I love that. And I think if you're not really like if you like the emotion of like hardcore, but there's certain things about the actual like act of listening to hardcore and
This
someone
is super
screaming
accessible.
at you,
This is super accessible.
super. It's like, I've heard them be called like the world's first emo band. And like even the term emo, I think like came out of like Rites of Spring.
I've
like,
also heard that.
becoming popular or like gaining any sort of following like in DC and surrounding area or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. I wasn't there, but I love this stuff, and I just think like it's super accessible if you're not like already into hardcore.
Yeah, I will definitely be checking out that One Last Wish record this week for sure. We're going to move on to another track. This is a band that's gotten played a few times on the show by me, by Michael, and not this song though. This is Watch Me Rise by Have Heart.
God damn! You said I promised myself I'd never feel this fucking way again. This world has got me praying on my knees for more peace, more my mind, my strength, my life, my time. Consumed with 1,000 doors, fighting me like a flock of birds with no direction or intention of finding home. It's so hard to
There it is. Have Heart.
Yes.
When you heard that bass break, were you imagining playing it?
Yeah, I was like, I zoned out. I played air bass here in the studio. You weren't even here. You
No,
disappeared.
I
I
disappeared.
transcended.
Tell us about Have Heart. You have some intimate experience here.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, feels like another lifetime ago. But I think I booked them at the original Flywheel.
Okay.
And I think that was their second show.
Incredible.
It was very, very early. It was like second or third, but I think their first show was like Friday night in like one of their parents' basements,
Yeah.
and then like Saturday they came and played the Flywheel. And like,
Do you remember who else played that? If you
I
don't,
think
it's okay.
Shoot to Kill and Mental,
Okay, that sounds right.
and
We should see if there's a flyer somewhere.
yeah. I mean, I know Shoot to Kill played. I think Mental also played. Dude, it was like this weird era that I think, I don't know, one of those like locking out, like I think it was Mental and another locking out band.
Sure.
But yeah, it was cool. It was super cool. And then I just think this song, like this band, you could pick any Have Heart song to put on this list.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, super accessible. Maybe this episode should just be like accessible hardcore.
Yeah.
It's kind of surface level. And, you know, that wasn't really like the intention, but you could pick any Have Heart song to go here, like on this list. But I just think it's so cool. Like this was not an overnight success band, and now it's like they're huge. And yeah, I just think it's cool. Like, I think Pat is one of the hardcore's like greatest frontmen of all time, and it's just cool that he, you know, existed at the same time and or still does. You know, he's still doing it. And I think it's whatever. I think people of a certain age might have like not seen this Have Heart resurgence coming and are kind of like not hating, but they're just sort of like, really? But if you know, you know, like if you spent 1 minute at a Have Heart show, you're sort of like, oh, they really mean this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just think it's awesome. Like, their Have Heart as a band is kind of like the current hardcore's like current Superman. I feel like they're just sort of like a feel good band. You don't hear anybody have something bad to say about these guys. There's not like weird rumors floating around. Like, you know, they're just.
It's hard to keep track of the rumors sometimes, so it is good that there aren't weird rumors.
And I just think like they deserve a spot on this list for like a million different reasons. But yeah.
I think for me, one of the things that I always feel really good about Have Heart is that, so they were in the same practice building as Wasteland, I think in Worcester. And like, you know, they were like friendly with those guys, and those are obviously like some of my best friends. And then when Verse and Have Heart did like a huge U.S. tour, they took
like
Wasteland with them.
Oh, that's sick.
And it was like, I don't even think that they wound up being able to do, like, I think they could have done like the whole tour or something, and they only did like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like in the old Dragnet bus and Bessie. But just the stuff that those guys, like, all those guys just have such great like memories of those dudes, and just like them being just so generous, like in a time where it was like, you know, you'd get the headlining band would get X amount of dollars, and they would always like check with them and be like, oh, how much did you guys get? And then they would just give them a chunk of the money from the door that they had gotten, because like I'm sure they were killing on merch and stuff anyway, but you don't have to do that. And it was just like super nice, and I feel like they're genuine human beings, and thank you for being nice to my friends.
It's kind of like a what goes around comes around kind of story with Have Heart, because I've heard stories like that, like time and time again, where you're just sort of like, whatever. Not to sit here and just be like, oh, have heart. But they are, to me, in my opinion, I really think like there's not many bands like them. And we were kind of talking while they were playing where like they're in this youth crew camp, and which like kind of makes sense aesthetically and like, maybe what they were going for early on, and they like got a foothold in that kind of world of hardcore, that corner. But it's definitely not just straight up youth crew. It's, for better or worse, like maybe it's not your thing, maybe it is, maybe you like it more than youth crew or less, but it's definitely its own kind of thing.
Yeah, and I will also say, as somebody who, as all hardcore kids are, I can be extremely judgmental of things.
Of course, yeah.
I don't think that they put out anything bad. Like, I think every record that they put out, I listened to and I was like, oh, this is good. Yeah. Like, every single one was good.
I'm not putting Half Heart on at work when I'm just trying to, like, listen to music. Like, it's been... You asked me to put this list together, and I was sort of, like, thinking of bands that I just think, like, if my little cousin or somebody was asking me how, was like, oh, I got the Turnstile record, I'd be like, well, check these out, too. And that's,
That's a really good way of hearing that prompt, by the way. That's perfect.
But, like, so that's kind of how they ended up here. But, again, like, their influence on the current, like, state of hardcore is kind of undeniable.
Agree.
And they're all great people, and, like, yeah.
Heck yeah.
They deserve to be here.
Shout out Half Heart.
They need it. Yeah, let's give Half Heart the shout out they need.
We are going to take like the craziest 180 right now, which is why we talked for like 10 minutes, because this transition would have been so harsh. We are going into a song called Get It Off. This is from the band Dysphere. The Misfits, We Bite. Before that, you heard What Do You Want by the band The Virus. And before that, you heard Get It Off by Dysphere. Rest in peace to Tomas. Again, all Poulin's picks, so what do you got to say for yourself?
Oh, geez. Well, Dysphere, it's, to me, that song, like, it's, whatever, it's DB. It's, like, adjacent, as the kids call it. But,
Love me some D-Beat, though.
yeah, I mean, it definitely rips, but it's, that song has a lot of, like, pop sensibility and, like, the structure and, like, you know what I mean? Like you were even talking about, like, Motorhead.
Yeah.
And, like, it's, you know, it's unavoidable with a band like that or even a genre like that. But
there's a lot of people who like D-Beat, though, so I feel like having a band like this that's, like, definitively sort of a captain of that genre, it makes sense to have that on this playlist for sure.
Yeah, and it's got, like, a, you know, verse, chorus kind of structure that is, like, memorable. So that was that one. And the same is kind of like, you know, it's not the Virus, the next song, you know, like, different corner of the punk hardcore world, but
I don't know this band.
They're cool. It's like, I mean, it's not like the most credible old school street punk band of all time, but I think, like, the songs they write are super cool. And again, it's kind of like that accessible, like an accessible version of that. You know what I mean? If you got someone who's, like, mildly interested or, like, you know, in punk, it's sort of like, well, check this out, like, you know? And same thing. It's got, like, the verse, chorus, and it's super catchy, and I just think it's cool. And then after that
The Misfits.
I mean, come on. The Misfits, dude. Like,
What do you even say about the Misfits?
what can you
that
even
hasn't
say
been
about
said?
the Misfits? This is like this is my favorite Misfits song. It's just, like, so mean without being, like, overly, like, spooky, scary, mall, like, punk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Stephen Pierce from Gold Dust and Kindling, because Ampere used to cover this and it was awesome.
It's an awesome song. It's so cool.
So Misfits always messes me up because I've taught in school for 19 years. Mm-hmm. And there have been 0 hardcore kids, but every once in a while there's a kid with a Misfits shirt, you know, and I, like, look at them and I'm like, is that like, are you, do they know? Is this like, but it's never, it never seems.
No, it's like, I mean, there was even an era of, like, 3-6 Mafia wearing, like, Misfits shirts and on MTV and stuff, like, you know, it's, I mean.
Iconic.
It's iconic.
It's iconic. We are getting just about to the end of the episode somehow. This flew by. So I'm gonna, Mike, I'll let you talk about the last 2 songs, and then we'll say our goodbyes and play them out.
Okay, I'll try to keep it quick. No Warning, Too Much to Bear. To me, this is there's a bunch of bands you could put in, like, the regular hardcore, like, some dude's like, hey, some guy you work with is like, hey, I heard this Hatebreed band or something like that, and you're kind of like, hey, check this out. This is one of those bands that if someone's like, what is hardcore, you can show them this band and they're like, oh, you kind of get it.
It's angry.
And it's just cool. And American Nightmare, Hearts. So if Rites of Spring kind of, like, made, like, emo and, like, poetic lyrics cool, like, I don't know if they did, because, again, I wasn't there, but to me they kind of, like, brought that to hardcore.
Sure.
I feel like American Nightmare was, like, the second coming of that, where it was like, poetry is cool, you can totally, like, write a hardcore song about, like, a breakup or something. And I mean, come on, it is like it was a whole generation. There was a kid at my school who had, like, the, you know, braids and, like, wore a trench coat and listened to, like, Marilyn Manson, and came in one day and goes, yeah, I hate this, but you'll probably like it, and gave me an American Nightmare CD. I think it was, like, the year 1, so it was, like, the demo and, like, a 7-inch or something. And I remember getting in my car after school and I drove a bunch of people home, and I popped the CD in, and everyone in my car, like, you know, my girlfriend at the time, my little brother, like a couple of my buddies in the back seat are all like, this sucks. And it was life-changing for me, you know? Like, it was a pivotal moment for sure.
Dude, unreal. I cannot believe Hearts is 1 minute and 4 seconds. And I think one of the things that I love about hardcore, these last 3 songs that we played, so We Bite by the Misfits, 1 minute 15 seconds, No Warning Too Much to Bear, 1 minute and 11 seconds, and Hearts by American Nightmare, 1 minute and 4 seconds.
Yeah, they're concise, man.
I love it. I love it. So we're gonna wrap here. We're gonna play you out with No Warning and American Nightmare. Mike, thank you so much for taking time and hanging out with me.
Dude, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
You're always welcome to come on the show. For anybody listening, screamingforchangeradio.com. We did it. We finished 1 full year of episodes of a radio show about hardcore. So here's to another year. This is No Warning into American Nightmare. Thank you so much for listening.
I can't fucking take it. Burning me down with these plastic things. It just gets worse. Can't fucking stand it. Gonna break away. Nothing in common except this simple hate. Yeah. Inside, I want to get out. Pretending to care, it's making me sick. Can't fucking stand it. Gonna break away. Nothing in common except the simple hate. How much do you think I know? I know enough to know. I want to get out. This isn't what for you to do. Make me lose my faith in you. Now I'm fucking down. I want to get out. There is a crowd. I know I'm proud. It's suicide. We're on the ground. We're on the point, but I'm not in the bed. Fall that way. Do you win? What? It isn't a fuck in the town. I'll tell you every time. All I wanted was the sun and the day. When I got that to I took a pick up and went. Oh my God. It's happened again. What the fuck is wrong with me? Screaming can't do nothing. What would make me fucking down? Screaming can't do nothing. What a fuck, I'm fucking dead. Screaming can't do nothing. I do all around the name of your city. Screaming can't do nothing. I do all around the name of your city.
Mike Poulin! ScreamingForChangeRadio.com